Your breakup began weeks or months before you knew anything about it. You might have thought things were fine in your relationship, or maybe you thought, hey, we're going through a little bit of a rough patch right now. It's going to get better. Things will be back to normal soon. However, in the meantime, a whole bunch of other stuff was happening, and that's what this video is about. The timeline of your breakup. Your breakup actually began, as I said, weeks or months before you knew about it with what I like to call a fracturing event. Something happened that caused a disconnection or a little bit of a break, a crack, a fissure in your emotional connection with your ex-girlfriend. Some of the things that happen in this stage are like you're working more. She's working more. Maybe one of you guys gets sick. Having a baby, having a child can be a fracturing event for a couple. Just something basically gets in the way of your ability to emotionally connect with this woman. And you're probably thinking, oh, I would like us to see each other more. We haven't been able to hang out or connect as much as usual. But for women tend to take this very hard. Women, in my opinion, my experience, tend to be very sensitive to anything that kind of causes a little bit of a disconnection or a little bit of a break in y'all's relationship. So where you notice it and you're like, oh, okay, if you do at all, the woman is taking it very, very hard. It's a big deal for her. So the first thing that happens is that fracturing event. You're working more, or maybe you have an argument and you guys don't really patch it up as well as you should. You have an argument and maybe it blows over. You both say sorry, but she's still holding a grudge, or she still really feels like something is wrong. Something happened to cause that, a little bit of a disconnection phase. The second thing that happens is the pre-breakup. In the pre-breakup, the woman is talking to all her friends. Like I said, the man in a relationship is always the last to know that it's almost over. Before a woman breaks up with you, she has talked about you to her mother, her sister, her best friend, her coworkers, her Pilates instructor, the lady that cuts her hair. Basically, everybody knows that this woman is unhappy, but probably she hasn't really expressed it to you as explicitly as that. Like, I'm unhappy in this relationship and I'm thinking about leaving you. If she would say that, it might get your attention, but usually she's not going to say that. A lot of times women will do almost anything, many women in general will do almost anything to avoid conflict and do not communicate with men like explicitly. So she's not really going to say that, but she will start to kind of pull back, and you will notice that she seems a little bit colder. Like the warm, loving, romantic, affectionate girlfriend that you remember is just less warm, less affectionate, and less romantic than you remember, and you might not know why. If at all. Like I'm saying, a lot of times all of this stuff blows over guys' heads, or you just think, oh, we're just having a little bit of a challenge right now, and you don't realize that this big storm is brewing in the background. So the second part is the pre-breakup. At some point in the pre-breakup, after the woman speaks to her mother, her friends, her best, her Pilates instructor, her personal trainer, her coworkers, at some point she decides that she is going to leave you. And this is when you will definitely start to notice some challenges. Like I said, this woman in her mind decides that she's going to break up with you. This will be a total vibe shift in your relationship usually. Some of the things that happen in the pre-breakup phase are that she starts contacting other guys, because women are never single. A woman is never, ever, 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 ever single. She's going to go from your relationship to dating a couple of other guys, one or two other guys. Could be a coworker, some guy from the gym, a guy that she dated off of Bumble or Hinge before y'all got together, something like that. Women keep guys in the tuck for situations just like this. She knows you're going to mess up. She knows she needs backup, and all she has to do. Here's the thing. The crazy thing about being a woman or women in relationships is all she has to do is start entertaining the guys that hit her up. When she's in that relationship and she's happy, if guys talk to her at the gym, coworkers try to flirt with her, maybe like I said, the guy, her ex-boyfriend, a guy that she dated a couple times off of Bumble before y'all hooked up, those guys hit her up, text her, slide in the DMs, comment on her pictures, things like that. And if she's happy with you, she'll blow them off. She'll blow them off. She'll ignore the text and things like that. All she has to do is start entertaining. These guys. So the coworker invites her out for drinks after work. All she has to do is say yes. The ex-boyfriend from 2 years ago hits her up. Hey, how you doing? I've been thinking about you. All she has to do is message him back. It's so easy. So whether or not she actively is keeping guys around, there's always dudes trying to get at your girl. Women are never single. They're never without guys in the background trying to be with them. So all she has to do is entertain it. during the pre-breakup phase, she starts entertaining other guys and she starts pulling back from you. I say this a lot. A woman in the pre-breakup phase, she's already decided that she's going to break up with you. In her mind, your relationship is over. She's just getting her ducks in a row. She's lining up the next guy. If y'all live together, she might be like looking for where she's going to move, figuring out which friend she's going to go live with. She might be, saving money to plan to move out. Whatever it's going to take. Whatever it's going to take, she is disconnecting from you in the background, and you're just moving right along, bopping right along through life. You probably have barely noticed. You have barely noticed that this woman is changing and your entire world is getting ready to get crumbled, and you're just completely oblivious. All right. So she gets everything lined up, and the only thing that she's doing is waiting until she feels like she's got the plan laid out. During this phase, pretty much everything that you're doing to this woman is going to annoy her. You know how it is when you can tell that you're getting on somebody's nerves, and it's like everything you say, everything you do pisses the person off, makes them grouchy or irritable. Even if she doesn't say anything, you can probably feel that she's looking at you differently. You could feel that she's just kind of looking at you a little bit differently. She might be, like I said, more irritable, more grumpy. She's probably less affectionate. If y'all are having sex, the sex might be less passionate. She's definitely not, this is the number one red flag. She's definitely not performing sexual favors for you, right? She's definitely not doing that one sexual favor that we all like, even if she's sleeping with you, because women enjoy sex. So she might just like sex. She might want to just blow off some steam. She wants to have some fun. She wants her needs met too, but she's definitely not doing that. So if you look back in your relationship, it's probably been, depending on how long you were together, 3 months, 6 months, maybe even longer than that, since the woman has, done this to you and for you. Because women will pull that back. She don't like you like that. So she's more irritable. She's more grouchy. It's taking her longer to return your phone calls. She's less affectionate. You just definitely can feel at this point that something is going on and you probably don't know what to do. During this last part of my last most recent relationship that ended, in this phase, I knew that something was going on, but I wasn't sure like if we were just kind of like adjusting to the not being in the honeymoon phase anymore. This was only an 8-month relationship. So I thought, okay, well, maybe we're just kind of like getting out of the honeymoon phase into more of the like real relationship phase. And I knew something was going on. I wasn't sure what was happening or even how to fix it. I didn't want to overreact and act too needy. I didn't want to pull back too much and be a cold fish, like Corey Wayne says. I really didn't know what to do. So I just kept showing up in the relationship every day, talking to her, taking her on dates, being affectionate, showing her that I cared about her. But I was like, something's going on. I just don't know what. And maybe I should have asked. I'm not sure if it would have mattered, but maybe one of the ways to deal with this is just to communicate and say, hey, I feel like something's going on. Do you want to talk about it? That might have saved the relationship. I don't think I wanted the relationship to be saved. It's good that we broke up, but maybe that's something that might have worked. So all this stuff is happening. When she finally gets her ducks in a row, like the next guy finally is right where she wants him. She has decided she's going to move in with her best friend and crash in the extra bedroom for a few weeks while she gets that together. Whatever she needed to get handled, now it's time to break up with you. What she's going to do probably is let you break up with her. This is something that even I like to do. I don't like to break up with people because I know how much it hurts them. But what I will do is kind of pull back, stop taking women on dates, act differently, and then the woman will break up with you, right? Because I don't want to make somebody feel bad by breaking up with her, but women don't have souls, so they don't care about breaking up with you. They'll do it at the drop of a hat. What she's going to do is have like a small disagreement or some little misunderstanding between y'all. She's going to blow it up into a big-ass fight. I have a video on the channel talking about like your ex broke up with you over some small little mistake. The reason why is because she had been working for months in the background to get rid of you, probably in my case weeks. A couple of weeks to get everything together, and all she needed was for me to say or do something that she could blow up into some big ass drag out argument, and that's exactly what happened. The night that my most recent ex-girlfriend broke up with me, we're having dinner. She was making me dinner. We're having a glass of wine at her house, and then I said something kind of insensitive. Probably I shouldn't have said that, but she reacted, and I definitely apologized right away. Hey, I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. That was insensitive. I didn't realize how you would take that. My bad. I'm really sorry. Hugging her, holding her. And this is the type of behavior. This is a good apology. I'm hugging you. I'm taking responsibility. I'm like, I'm really sorry. Forgive me. I shouldn't have said that. I realized that might have been really hurtful. And instead of just letting it go, like, hey, I'm really upset with you. but let's just move on with our evening. She blew it up into this big drag out argument, locked herself in the bathroom. She's crying, all this stuff. And I'm just like, at the time, it didn't make sense because I was like, well, I said I was sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I apologize. I realized I was wrong. Can we just move on and have the rest of our evening? Like, why are you acting like this? And then in retrospect, it all makes sense. Now that I put all the pieces together, oh, she just was waiting for me to do something. Anything. It could have been anything that I would have said or done that night or the next night. She was needing to cut that cord and she needed to set me up. And that's exactly what your ex-girlfriend probably did to you. Something small that you did. You brought the wrong brand of dog food home. You put your jacket on the couch and she always asks you to hang it up. You put the keys on the wrong hook. And she blew it up out of proportion, started crying, locked herself in the bathroom, all this stuff. And probably you left, which is what I did. I was just like, okay, well, this is obviously not going anywhere. I just left. I was like, okay, well, you don't want to talk about it, I'll leave. And then that was the last time that we saw each other. And then the next time that I reached out and texted her after a few days, I was like, hey, do you want to talk about what happened? She's like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. And that's the kind of behavior that you're going to see. So she's either going to text you or call you and say, I'm not happy. I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. Something like that. And then it's over. So that's the breakup phase. She basically lets you hang yourself by doing or saying something really silly that she blows out of proportion. And then she cuts the cord. Now we're in the post breakup phase, which is where I'm at right now and where you're probably at if you're watching this video. If you like this type of content, please hit the like button, by the way. Now you're in the post breakup phase. The first couple days after your breakup happens, after she officially tells you, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, you might be relieved. Because like I said, your relationship may have been feeling not right or feeling stressful or a little tense for weeks or maybe months, depending on the length of your relationship. Maybe it's been a few weeks since you guys have been really happy together and really enjoying each other's company. And you're like, thank God, So the first 2 or 3 days, at least for me, I was quite pleased. I was relieved. Good. Now I can, focus on myself and do the things I want to do. After those 3 or 4 days, then the reality sets in. You're like, oh, I don't have a girlfriend anymore. And some of the things that happen is you start to realize the enormity of what's happened. Some of the emotions you'll feel is being devastated. You'll just feel devastated. You'll feel bewildered of what happened. You'll feel sad. You feel an intense amount of pain. You feel a severe amount of pain because you're like, oh, like this person doesn't want to talk to me anymore. We're not in each other's lives anymore. One thing that happened to me is like funny things would happen at work, or my dogs would do something funny, or like just little things would happen. I went on a camping trip with some friends during this time and came back, and there's all this gossip basically that I wanted to tell my girlfriend about what had happened on this camping trip with my friends. And I realized, oh, she doesn't even want to talk to me anymore. She doesn't care. And all that hits you like a brick wall. It hits you ironically like a brick wall, and then also in waves, all the little times that you want to contact this person, reach out to them, text them, call them, see them, and you realize, oh, like we're not there anymore. That's not going to happen anymore. So that is a hard thing. The post-breakup phase is very difficult, and if you're watching this, you're probably in that phase. You just feel like, wow, like cold. You feel cold. You feel alone. You feel that relationship is over, and even if you were having challenges in the relationship and everything wasn't 100% great, at least you as the man, weren't unhappy enough to leave. So my previous relationship, I had thought about breaking up with her. I had thought like there were some big structural issues, and I thought this is probably not going to work out. But I wasn't 100% ready to leave her, and I also didn't want to break up with her because I knew it would make her probably sad if I had broken up with her. And I was kind of just figuring out what I was going to do. So I think she definitely realized that because she asked me about it. Hey, I feel like your feelings have changed. You're pulling back. What's going on? We talked about it, but I still was thinking, hey, that there's some big issues here that probably can't be resolved, and I don't think it's going to work out between us, even though I loved and cared about this person very much. So if that's where you're at in your post-breakup phase, all there is to do is to go through it. So there's a whole other video that I want to make about your post-breakup arc and all the emotions that you'll go through, feeling that pain of the shattering of your relationship, then feeling withdrawal and separation anxiety from this person and moving through anger, the anger that you're going to feel. It's based on something called the swirl pattern by Susan Anderson, who's a therapist and wrote many books about abandonment. So you've basically been abandoned. You've been abandoned and rejected. And the coldest part of this is the person that you want comfort from the most is the person that's doing it. She has caused you this pain, and she also doesn't want to talk to you. So it's like not only has this person kind of stabbed you in the back, left you for dead, abandoned you, rejected you, But this is the person who you would ordinarily would call if you were feeling like that and wanted to be comforted, right? You would call your girlfriend and be like, oh, hey, I had this shitty day. This crazy thing happened. And you would want her to hold you, comfort you, console you, say something nice. But unfortunately, she is the person who's causing you all this pain. So it is kind of a mind fuck. It is a hard thing to go through. People try to minimize breakups or say just get over it and sleep with a whole bunch of women, which I give that advice a lot. And ultimately, that is probably the most workable solution. Realize what you want to learn from the relationship and then move on as quickly as possible. But I just do want to acknowledge that it does hurt. It is very painful. And I want to sit in this moment with you and let you know that it's going to be okay. All right, guys, if you like this type of content, hit the like button. Let me know what you want to see down in the comment box below. So this was a video about the timeline of your breakup. And I want to do another video about the timeline of your emotions post-breakup and how to get over it. Long story short, the too long didn't read version is you need to stay, number one, look as good as possible. That's why I always recommend that haircut in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. And number two, stay as busy as possible. And that's going to help just accelerate your healing and at least keep your mind off of your breakup while you're going through it. All right, guys, if you recognize any of these patterns in your relationship, let us know down in the comment box below. Let's talk about it. See you on the next one.